This will be my. Okay, so I'm Savannah Rudloff. I am the founder of the Birthday Box Collective. I'm also a local realtor, property manager. I have 3 kids, so quite busy. But so kind of how this started is my 8-year-old, she's a darling. She had a little boy in the class that his parents essentially forgot about his birthday or couldn't afford it. So, and this poor little boy, he struggles on Halloween and other holidays as well. So we created the Birthday Box Collective for children that get the buddy pack system, essentially, so that have food insecurities. And essentially what this box is I work with Camden and Osage schools currently. But in this little box, so we have a little birthday card, and my daughter decorates them all. Oh. And then we have a cake mix, icing, and then they have a 9x9 sheet pan, and then this is the decoration or the instructions. So usually there's a Sprite in here as well. So all they have to do is take it home, bake it with these instructions. They don't need water, they don't need eggs, everything's in here. But we also add like a few little trinkets because it's their birthday, like suckers and there's balloons. There's like these little things. And then also we put in these little stickers. So everyone gets a smiley face sticker. They're all colors and different designs, and then a happy birthday sticker, along with a happy birthday bracelet. And then because the cake makes more than the 9x9, we have cupcake tins. So they get a cake and cupcakes, and then candles. So all of that gets sent home with them. And I do also seal these boxes, just so that way if they're on the bus, you know, the kids don't open them, they don't play with them, things like that. Yes, and also, so when we first started it, we didn't label them, but then I realized that most of them want to know what's inside. So it will have what kind of cake, what kind of icing, and then what color theme it is. So that way, because the counselors are the ones handing these out essentially, so they know their students. They know, you know, what kind of colors they like. You know, some girls like pink, some like purple, some like blue. Me including, I am not a pink purple person. So they can customize these. We also make some that are Laker themed for the kids that are, you know, go Lakers or Osage. We do some of them that are school themed as well. And the counselors have shared with me that these have made a difference already. So we box them once a month, and I hand them out to the counselors. I go deliver them in these big boxes. So, and then they hand them out from there. They let me know usually every couple months how much they're needing for each month. And then they kind of handle them from there. But one of the reasons I put them in this white box is because I kind of wanted them to be discreet. So it has a little birthday box sticker on it and then just the ingredients, but I know not every kid wants people to know that, you know, they need assistance. So we try to make it as discreet as possible, because if you see them just carrying a white box, if they're carrying it this way, you don't know what it is. So that was also kind of my goal, just to ensure it was discreet and, you know, no one picked on them. So that's kind of the birthday box in itself. I do have like flyers that we hand out. We do some like local events just so people know about it. But essentially it's just me, and then I have a couple office staff that help me pack them each month.
So how many do you do?
I do about 50 to 100 each month.
Wow.
So
really?
Yes, because we have 4 Camden elementary schools, and then we have a middle school. I don't really do the high school, but I do all elementary and then the middle. And then School of the Osage, we do both of their elementary schools. And then I also do Waynesville, there's 2 elementary schools down there.
Wow. So how do you get the funding to do that? I mean, it's not cheap.
So I donated here and there. But most of it's just my own personal pocket.
I might mention that they did that at the Lang House, they had a bunch of, cakes, and the customers loved it.
Yeah, and that's something that eventually I'm gonna probably try to do the high schools as well. Because one of the counselors came up to me and she said, if you decided to do the high schools, like they have a food pantry at high schools. And I know like some families, they don't have the necessary means, so that way these older kids could essentially pick one up and take it home for mom. So that's also something we're kind of working on as well.
Good part you had.
Yeah.
Like this.
So I've actually been doing similar work like this since I've been in middle school. So I was part of like Stack in the Pack, and we created some 5K races. So I enjoyed it. Well,
Oh, that's just fantastic. That is, I mean, that's a big commitment.
yeah, it is, but I like it. I like going out, handing them out, talking to the counselors. Even some of the kids in my kids' class, I've received them, and their teachers are like, it makes a great difference. Like they're really excited about it because they're not expecting it.
Right.
So I like that good age.
How much does this box cost you?
So each box probably cost me about $8 to $10, depending on the cake prices and icing.
Like,
So, does that include if, like, I'm sorry, but it landed, that's the box thing, that's all of the things that go into putting this box together, not just the ingredients, but how you have it packaged and put together and the instructions and everything for each student.
Correct.
Yeah, so times 50, that's $400.
a month.
Yeah.
So you literally gotta sell half a house.
So I'd like to, because John and I were having an outside conversation here, I'd like to propose something to the club. This is beautiful. Food insecurity has always been very near and dear to my heart. Ellen and I work very closely in as well with the staff and that program with these here as well. What does the club think about helping Savannah support this program?
Yes.
I'd like to propose that we put a $400 gift donation together today for her to put towards this program.
Do you have a birthday box bank account?
I do. I have an LLC. I have a bank account working on our IRS 501c3.
Cool. I would make a motion to give her $500.
That's fine.
$500.
Why, thank you.
Okay, can all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. So we are very happy to do that.
So, and I brought some of these, if you guys want them. So these are the brochures, and then I'll leave some of these. Here, I'll pass them out.
Look, Mr. House, if you-